Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. We're going to talk about wildfire smoke on this Wednesday, August the 6th. So as the sun climbs in the sky a little bit, you can see where the smoke is. Of course, these are clouds here, normal kind of deal. But you can see that very dense wildfire smoke coming out of Canada. Currently, it's actually being pushed around this area of higher pressure and also sort of brought down from another plume that's even worse up across parts of Hudson Bay, coming through northern Manitoba, northern Ontario, and then into northern Quebec and out to Labrador and so on. A lot of this real thick plume is headed for southern Greenland. Not good for melting of ice. It adds a little bit of soot. That soot interacts with the ice and, of course, is like little hot flakes on otherwise glacier. However, we're going to talk about the wildfire smoke here. This is related to climate change, global warming, however you want to refer to it. An overheating planet, yes, this is all produced by man-made fossil fuels because what's happening is our climate up here in the northern boreal forest is drying out each spring. After winter snows, the snow melts, we get into a very dry mode. We get that in April in Vermont, for example. This is a definite climate niche, and you have to talk about it because avoiding talking about climate change is avoiding talking about the forest fire smoke, the unhealthy pollution, the unhealthy air quality, and so on and so forth. This has been happening for several really years, going back maybe a decade or so, more off and on, but now it's consistent. Just about each summer, whenever we have fires up here in northern Canada, any kind of flow that's going to take it south and east is going to move it into the United States. It's moving through parts of really plaguing North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Great Lakes region, and then kind of secondarily across the northeast U.S. into New England. However, what we're going to look at here is some of the weather observations real quickly. So what you can see here is current observations, and indeed these stations reporting smoke, this little kind of like a flag deal here showing smoke aloft and smoke at surface. So it's reducing the visibility, and it will show up accordingly as smoke being reported, lowering the visibility. We're seeing even smoke being reported down here in Elmira. Also, last hour we had it at White River Junction, West Lebanon. It's a little bit of a clearing here due to this area of higher pressure, but that's going to be moving off the coast, and then we're going to get that southeastern return flow, and that's going to lift this sort of band of smoke back into the region. So what is the source region for the fires? Well, they're definitely Canadian wildfires, and as you can see, this is parts of western Ontario. The purple and the red are the current existing fires that are uncontained right now. The purple are uncontained, and we can see quite a bit of fires here in northern parts of Saskatchewan, a little less in Alberta now. Some new fire action in parts of British Columbia where things are drying out, especially west of the Continental Divide. It's a little bit wetter in parts of western Alberta near the Continental Divide. The Canadian Rockies have been seeing a couple different series of wet systems work through there. So it's a little shift a little bit more to the west. And there was even some fires on Vancouver Island, which is fairly significant. However, you can see where the stretch is. It's up into parts of eastern Alaska, the Yukon, Nunavut, Northwest Territories, and so on and so forth. And this is where the boreal forest is very, very dry. It's happening every year, and it's related to climate change and a warming planet and a climate shift further up to the north. This is some computer modeling, and it shows the rapid refresh model, and you can see the plumes of smoke and also the source region coming in from parts of northern Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and the main plumes are being pulled again towards southern Greenland. This is the smoke we've been dealing with here across New England, but this area of higher pressure is sagging south, and it's kind of hard to see, but you can see that it's a lessening plume. We're getting into these different colors here. Once we get into the blues, it's not going to be that noticeable. With a heavier plume, kind of a narrow stretch going all the way out to the UK across the North Atlantic. Of course, the source regions are here. There are some other fires now breaking out in California, and this is associated with that southwestern high pressure center that's doing this anticyclonic flow here. This is also another area of higher pressure, of course, and it's producing most of the snow to be pulled back toward the source region, but also stretching it like taffy way back out to the north and east. I'm afraid this is going to be with us off and on. The best result would be a change in flow from the southwest to northeast, from much more moist conditions of coming in off the Gulf of Mexico and so on and so forth, or up the East Coast. Eventually that will take place, as it looks probably within about a week to 2 weeks, with a much wetter pattern developing for northern New England. And also, tropical systems are going to be shooting across the southern Atlantic and toward Florida. That's about a week out or beyond. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.